How's it going, guys? So in this video, I want to compare two different office task chairs, probably two of the popular, famous ones. And one is the Knoll Generation, and the other is the Herman Miller Aeron Classic. Okay, so I'm gonna flip my camera over and let's take a look. So here we go. Those are the two chairs. Okay, so this is my original Aeron that I've owned for years. This is a classic model, not the remastered, as very quickly evident by the little turning locking knobs for the arm rest. The remastered version is going to have an improved quick lock mechanism and maybe some other areas that might be slightly improved. That I do not know. So again, I've had this chair for years. This is one of my office task chair, and while it is highly adjustable, the only thing that's not very quickly adjustable again on the Classic is again this knob that you have to turn to unlock and then retighten to lock the armchair to arms, and sometimes it doesn't really lock well, so it actually slides down. But again, that could just be due to the age of the chair. Again, this chair is definitely more than 15 years old. Despite the fact it is very old, it is still a highly ergonomical chair. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I am selling this one. Actually, someone is coming and picking it up this afternoon and getting the Knoll Generation. Okay, so just a couple of factors. Again, for the Classic version, this front part that is actually raised with a little foam pad on the bottom, it is not very comfortable for me. So every time I sit on this chair, this little raised area actually just pushes on my leg, and I can always feel this little bump. And I think in turn it blocks some sort of circulation for me, because after a long day of sitting, it becomes uncomfortable. So the way for me to offset this uncomfortableness is to lower the chair further to the ground. Okay, but again, now the chair is on the ground and this area, I can still feel it. It's because this chair lacks a tilt adjustment mechanism that tilts forward. It does have this little knob. So if I turn this knob, let's see if it works, up, I'm able to tilt it forward with this action, okay? However, it doesn't stay there. So anytime I want to sit straight and have it tilted forward, I have to use more force for it to stay there. But if I do this, now I lose the lumbar support. If I want to actually touch the lumbar, the chair automatically sits back. So again, this chair does not have a forward locking tilt. Once I lock this, it goes back to the original position right here with this little bump that's not comfortable for me, okay? Besides that, the chair has a highly adjustable, I believe this is the back tilt, I believe, maybe not, oh, okay, right here. So if I enable this, the chair can go back like very comfortably, like so. I don't really sit in this position often, so maybe for a banker or someone that doesn't have to be on the computer 24/7, maybe a manager, you want a little more comfortness, you just loosen this, and then you can tilt back and relax a little bit, maybe listen to some music and just relax and chill. So this is quite nice function, but again, for a task chair, someone who's working in front of the computer 24/7, I don't know if it's so useful for me, but it is there. So again, on the left side is the forward tilt that you can lock and unlock, but it doesn't stay forward and lock it. So you can't really lock it there, okay? And every time you go back to the original position, it resets to the backwards position. The other one is, of course, the back tilt. It's comfortable. It feels like you're suspended, and if you haven't used this kind of a chair before, you might think you're gonna literally fall down, but it's a nice feeling, okay, very comfortable back tilt. The lumbar support is very good. Not the best, because It supports your lumbar, but it's very intrusive. Even for this, this is like a two-piece, two-way thing. You can flip it over for an even more intrusive lumbar support. But this one is a less intrusive, but you can still feel it's a nice and firm support right on your back, and you can tilt it up and down, okay, to adjust the exact position that you wanted. So I would say it's a good lumbar support. It's just not a comfortable lumbar support. And I know they have Posture Fit for the Classic and Posture Fit SL for the remastered version. I haven't tried those, so really can't give you any opinion on those, but it does provide basic function for lumbar support. The back is actually very comfortable to sit on. The mesh is also very comfortable and is highly durable. Over the years, I haven't been able to actually damage the mesh or the mesh on the back or on the seat top, and it's again a highly durable mesh. Even if you're buying this used and you find a good deal, just check the mesh, make sure there's no damage, because again, it's cosmetic, but it's very obvious when the chair was not being used and you leave the chair. Okay, so that's pretty much all the some of the adjustabilities over there. On the right side, I don't even know what this tension adjustment is for. I think it's for the tilting tension, that you can increase the tilting tension or reduce the tilting tension. But again, I don't use the tilt that much. And over here is the height adjustment. The chair can go really, really tall for people who are really tall. As you can see, like I can barely have my foot on the ground. So if you're sitting at a tall place and you like this, you might want to get a footrest. But it does go really, really tall for a taller person. And it also goes really, really low, and actually lower than the Knoll Generation, which we're gonna very soon talk about. So the Generation doesn't go as low. However, there is not a very obvious bump on the Knoll. So even though it doesn't go as low, I can still have my feet comfortable on the ground without any kind of bump that's blocking the blood circulation. So in that regard, and that's the reason that I actually went with the Knoll Generation and selling the Aeron this afternoon. Okay, so yeah, that's the major reason. The second reason I'm selling the Aeron is because it is just too heavy and bulky. I like to be able to move my chair around like very quickly in the office. And this chair, I mean, it does have a rolling, it does have a rolling thing, but even if you roll it, you can feel the weight of the Aeron, and I think it's a lot more heavier, at least twice as heavy as the Knoll Generation. This one is about, I think, 37 to 39 pounds, depending on the material used. This thing, it's definitely more than 50 pounds. Definitely more than 50 pounds. Okay, so that pretty much sums up the Aeron. Yeah, I mean, for someone who has a longer, I don't know how you call this, the shin, longer shin, maybe this bump is not going to be as much of a bothersome thing for you. But for me personally, as a smaller, shorter built person, I'm 5'7", and this chair, again, size B as the recommended, is still just, it doesn't feel like it's a good fitting chair for me, even though I've been sitting on this chair for years. But yesterday, I was able to find a really good deal on this Knoll Generation, which actually usually retails for $1,300 to $1,400 with tax. The Aeron, nowadays you can probably get it for about the same price, $1,200 to $1,300 with tax, brand new, remastered version. Okay, so those chairs are all supposedly higher end task chairs. But if you're a consumer and you don't, working at corporate for, corporate purchase price, you can usually find those chairs for well below $400. And that's the reason I went and bought this chair, and wow, what a difference, okay? So let's talk about the Knoll Generation. Now I'm gonna put this on the side. Again, very comfortable, capable chair with a lot of adjustment for the Aeron, but it just doesn't fit my particular need and build. The Aeron, as you can see, I actually bought two of those. And I actually went for this one, okay? And the lady was like, hey, we have another one with a leather. Would you like to get that one as well? Exact same price, okay? So the price I paid for those, brand new with tags, and still have the plastic wrapping on it, okay? As evident with the little thing over here, is $150 each. So I bought the first one, I put it in my car, I was like, they have the other one with the leather, let me just go grab the other one. They offer the same price, and I went and I got both. So now, this one, I can give it to my wife, and again, the moment she sit on this chair, she was like, it's a lot more comfortable compared to the Aeron. And again, she has a smaller body build than me. The Aeron with a size B, it just doesn't fit particularly smaller person that they suggested size B on, as well as this test chair. Even though it looks like it's a bigger chair, it actually fits a variety of body builds surprisingly well, because of one feature that this chair, the Generation, have compared to the Aeron lacks, okay, which is a really nice sliding base. And this sliding base is the reason that it's gonna fit a variety of people, big or small, okay? So let me just show you really quick. So the sliding base is controlled over here with this little tab. I don't want to mess up my wife's configuration, so I'm gonna use this one, which is mine. So the sliding base is right here. You press it, and you can see the chair goes forward quite a lot, okay? So once it's coming forward, this is actually for a person who are a lot bigger, larger build, larger body size. And the cool thing about this chair is there is nothing here to block you or make you uncomfortable, compared to this, where you actually have a little base over here that's physically stopping you, okay? Is it necessary to have a stopping area right here on the chair? I would say absolutely not. And that's the reason this chair fits my needs and my wife's needs a lot better. And for a smaller person, so for my size, as you can see, it can go in quite a lot. And once it is being pushed in here, you have a smaller base. However, the support of the back is a lot more form-fitting for a smaller person. So I think this sliding feature is definitely the biggest selling point for the Generation. But in their advertisement, what they sell this for is the really interesting design of this very elastic back. So basically they said, you know, you can do this and chat with your coworkers sitting on the side. And you can also, again, in the marketing material, you can do this and chat with your coworker, maybe sitting on your back. I don't really know why. And I don't think this should be a selling feature. This is more gimmick than anything else. They do have some other stuff that I think is a lot more important and well designed compared to this. But you do have this option. And if you don't want to use this to chat with your coworker, it tilts back really nicely. There are 3 different levels of tilt, which is controlled by this little knob, 1, 2, and 3 clicks. It controls the firmness of the tilt, I believe. Let's see. So this is the firmest tilt. And if I put it here, I can tilt a lot more, okay? The interesting thing is, let's talk about the material, okay? The leather, it's genuine cowhide leather that's drum dyed. I think they call it spiny back or something. This is a custom order. So usually with this leather seating, it is reserved for executives, you know, managers, supervisors, whatever. But they do have this alongside the regular fabric top. Now, if it's me, I would probably pick the fabric top for the nice grip. Now, with this grip, you can definitely slide back if you want. The tilting feature is not as good as the Aeron, but it does have certain level of tilt, and you can tilt this much. It doesn't feel like you're gonna fall down like the Aeron, which it tilts further back. So this is the furthest level of tilt, and if you put it here, it gives you a good amount of tilt as needed. So it doesn't tilt as back as further down as the Aeron again. I don't use this feature, so it is nice to have but it's not executed well compared to the Aeron, which it tilts really nicely and gives you a good firm support. And part of the reason that it tilts nicely is because of that raised area in the front of the seat. So, you know, there's give and take. You give something, something has to be taken away. So, right? So again, tilting feature is here, but it's not as good as the Aeron. The height adjustment is right here. And it's a plastic knob. Okay, so this is the lowest, and let's go high. And this is the highest, which is about the same height as, I would say, the Aeron. Let's see. So actually, it's a little bit higher than Aeron, and yeah, and a little bit. It doesn't go as low as the Aeron. So I think in terms of the range, hopefully this gives you guys a good idea. So this is, I guess, even better for a taller, bigger person build. Again, the Aeron might, like if you're this big and tall, you might need a size C compared to a size B. So the seat is customizable on that, but it's not customizable here. But this seat actually encompasses persons big and small. And the front area is actually flexible. So, and this is the lowest it would go. Again, very, very comfortable for me. So that's the adjustability in terms of the seat height. This one goes taller, but it doesn't go shorter. The Aeron goes shorter, but it doesn't go as tall, okay? And the armchair on this is like the remastered, which is a quick release. So this one, all you have to do is press this little tab, and you just gotta find an area to lose it, and you can get it low, and you can get it really high, low, high, okay? And this chair, this armrest, forward, backward, left, right, and twisting. So it's like a 4-way, 8-way adjustable. It's very nicely adjusted, and it stays in place once you set it there. So this is a really nice feature that I like on the Aeron. Let's see. It doesn't go forward. It only goes left, right, left, right. It doesn't go up and down. So adjustability wise, the Generation is going to be better in terms of the armrest positions compared to the Aeron. And so I think that pretty much sums up the differences. Oh, the weight again on those chairs, despite the fact that this executive version with the cowhide leather has a full polished aluminum base. This one, which is the Task normal worker version, it's got a plastic base, but it's very durable. Again, no flexing on those plastic base compared to the aluminum. This one just looks nicer, right? It goes well with the aluminum arm of the adjustment arm right here. So the adjustment arm is the same right here, okay, for both different versions, but this is just looks a lot more premium, and it adds probably $100 to $200. The cowhide topper, I think, also adds about $100 on top of the regular fabric one, but again, the cowhide actually makes you slide around. So if you have something that's sticky that prevents you from sliding around, that might work for this chair, but it's a lot more comfortable on the fabric base right here. Okay, immediate comfort. And another difference is on the roller. So this one you can see it's a little polished. This is a soft roller that's built for hardwood floors. It's very quiet. And this is a general roller on the Generation. This is a hard plastic, so it works on the hard surface. It also works on carpet. So depending on your needs, you can get different rollers. That one is a little more expensive compared to the hard plastic. So you also have the customization over there. And if you go to the Knoll website, it's got a full customization in terms of color, fabric material, base, and maybe some other options. I don't know. But this chair right now on the website retails for at least $1,300 to $1,400 with a fabric base. So if you have a custom leather seat top, the price also increases. Again, I got this with an incredible deal of $150 from a consignment office furniture place. So if you can get those used, again, as a consumer, I think it's a great price for a very, very comfortable, highly customizable chair that will fit a wider variety of persons and builds with just one chair option, as opposed to the Aeron, where you have to find a size that fits you. And again, if you cannot get over the little bump over here on the front for the Aeron Classic, at least it's just not going to be a comfortable chair sitting long time. So when I sit on this chair before, I always have to constantly like stand up, adjust my position a little bit, and then re-sit down. I noticed on this chair, even though I've just been sitting on it for like one day, I haven't had to make a lot of adjustments in terms of my movements. And I actually noticed sitting on this chair actually makes my posture better. The Aeron, you won't be able to make a better posture because it just wants you to sit on the back and sit in this kind of position. But over here, I have a very nice firm lumbar support. Let's put this in here a little bit more. And I feel like I have the option of feeling sitting more upright on the Generation. So that's the reason, again, I'm selling my Aeron and getting the Generation chair. This is a quick, very first impression and my personal opinion towards those two chairs, okay? And I hope you guys found it helpful. And at least, again, if you're in a similar build or if you have a different build, what I talked about before in terms of your butt, size and the way that the Generation slides in and out is going to be able to fit more people more comfortably. Even though it doesn't have all kinds of fancy adjustments, it's adjustments that you need. Now, my only downside for this chair and also probably for the Aeron is none of those offers a forward tilt and lock. So this one, even though it doesn't offer the forward tilt, I could actually sit in the front a little bit, and it actually, again, this is flexible, so I could sit in the front and tilt it and not touching and have my seating position very comfortably like this. In that chair, I have to unlock this, I believe, and then sit like this. I mean, it works. It just it doesn't feel natural compared to this one. One have to sit in this position. This just embraces my butt better, even though it looks flat. It just embraces my butt better. This one is more ergonomic shaped, but it's not comfortable because of this bump. Now you may be able to remove this bump. But again, in the instructional manual, they always advertise you to have a foam right here. So I don't know, give it a try. Like if you can't handle it, you may be able to remove this foam. But then again, that's not the intention of the design of the Aeron Classic, at least. So that sums up the review, our first impression comparison of the Knoll Generation and the Aeron Classic. If you guys have any questions about those two chairs, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I hope you found the video helpful. And if you did, please do hit the like button or subscribe to my channel. Maybe I'll have more chair tips coming out for you guys as I further my usage of the Knoll Generation chair right there. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.